ladies, and welcome to The Beauty Shaman. So I'm going to do a makeup today focused on Australia and Australian women. I lived in Australia for about 3 years. I was mainly in Sydney. And in Sydney, the women I was in Melbourne a little bit too, but in Sydney, in the beaches, I lived right by Manly Beach. So if you are Australian or you have been there, Manly Beach is incredible. I actually looked out over Freshwater Beach, which is right next to it. But in any case, the women really knew how to be in the sun and at the same time take care of their skin but look pretty. This is their forte. They have very long, hot summers, which are the reverse of our if you're in the Western countries, our summer is, May, June, July, August, September. Theirs is the reverse. It's November, December, January, February. But I loved the summers there. I had a very cute Australian boyfriend. It was so awesome. His name was Simon. And yeah, I still think about him all these years later, but oh God, he was cute. Anyway, little memory lane there. In any case, we are going to do of makeup, an Australian woman's makeup focused on rosy tones because I did a video recently and I used all warm tones for summer makeup. So we're going into the rosy family today and that really sun-kissed rosy look. Okay. I love this look. It's so pretty and all of you can wear this. I think most of you can wear this. So it should be pretty universal. So before we get started, please visit my website at thebeautyshaman.com for my blog and my store. My blog and my store. And also, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so that I can continue to make great content here on YouTube, and I will learn to speak before the end of this video. Okay, so let's get started on the makeup. So before we, do makeup, you have to have your tea, right? I mean, it's all about tea. So I have some PG Tips. I love British tea, and a little bit of full fat creamer because I feel like if you're going to put cream in your tea, go for it. Don't mess around. Same thing with butter. Get real butter. Get the best salt on the market. When you cook with salt, in other words, just really go for great ingredients. I'm all about great ingredients with just about anything in my life. So anyway, this is my tea. What are you drinking? Tell me what you love. Let's have a sip. All right, so it's really important to take good care of your skin in the summertime. So I'm going to do a little bit of serum. I'm going to use a little bit of Truth Treatments. It actually leaked a little bit here, sorry. Transdermal C. I love this. It's packed with vitamin C. This stuff is incredible. It's my favorite serum on the market. I just love this. You need 2 drops, literally 2 drops is all you need. And then 2 squirts of BIOMIMETIC mist to help the efficacy of the product get it beneath your skin, and 2 squirts of hyaluronic mineral hydrator. Hyaluronic acid is well known for plumping the skin. Excellent stuff. My skin gets so happy when I use this. You can tell it just plumps right up. It's incredible. And if you need more moisturizer, I don't particularly have dry skin. If you do, I would say take your omega 369 oils. I take tablet form. I take 5 a day, basically. And the tablets, I believe they're 1,200 milligrams per tablet. So I take a ton. I take 2 tablespoons of flaxseed oil in the morning, and it just makes such a huge difference on my skin, on the health of my skin. I also drink a ton of water. I know you hear this, but pure spring water is incredible for that. If you still need moisture after that, I love the Sea Balm, Truth Treatment Sea Balm. Love this. I don't need any more moisturizer, so I'm not going to put any on. I've already got plenty. All right, so then I'm going to use a little bit of SPF. So of course the summer, Australians know you need SPF. So this is my favorite. It's Image Skincare SPF 30. This works fantastic, and I use this during the summer. I use this every single day, and it is fabulous. Image is a great skincare line. So for those of you who need to add a little bit of tint to darken your skin, I have a little color right now because I've been out riding my bike and been outside a bit. But I used Face Atelier. This is a really good brand. You just shake it and just lightly put it all over your skin. I did that in my last video. I'll put that in the upper corner here so you can access that if you're interested in that product. Today I'm not going to use that product, but I am going to stay away from foundation, as I put in the title, as many of you don't want to wear foundation in the summer, and I'm so with you on this. I don't like foundation in the summer either. So what I'm going to do is mattify my skin. Just mat it out here, and I'm going to use this is a really inexpensive but great brand, NYX. This is Shine Killer. Great title. I use this a lot on camera talent because it really holds up under the hot lights. Their skin stays dry, matte looking, I guess I should say, especially men with, who are bald or have a receding hairline get really shiny right here. And if you are prone to just being like me, I just glow, right? Then I would say toss a little bit of this on. So I'm just going to put very, like that's probably too much. I mean, that's how concentrated this is. And you just take it and just put it where you need it. So I'm just gonna mat my skin out where I get shiny, which is around my nose. And because I have bangs, but you know, I get oily right here. So let's just put a little right here for me. Some of you get really shiny in the corner, like you just, you know, you do you. And I'm just gonna put, I'm not gonna put it everywhere. I don't think I need it everywhere. Just gonna put it here. Okay. Look at that. Took it right down. Yeah, girl. If you want to use some foundation and like a tinted moisturizer, something very sheer, I do want to recommend a couple products. This is one I have right here next to me, so I'm going to recommend it. This is Chantecaille. I'm a big Chantecaille fan. I think this brand is absolutely beautiful. It's out of, she's French who owns it. I found out about it when I used to live in France and the UK. And I still love it. So this is SPF 15, although I do recommend you use a sunblock as well. If anyway, like don't replace your sunblock, because this, anytime they mix sunblocks with foundation, it minimizes the strength of the sunblock. So very important to use a separate sunblock. In any case, this product I love. I also really love Laura Mercier makes a tinted moisturizer. That's actually quite well known. Many of you might use that. If there's a brand that you would particularly love, please write it down below. I think share and share alike. But I do love this. I use this a lot in the summer. You do have to get a darker color, right? So instead of that, we're going to use a powder today because we're staying away from foundation. So I'm going to use illuminating bronzing powder. This is dirty. Called Aruba. So this is Bobbi Brown. So I'm going to use this with just a light brush and just kind of lightly dust this on my face. I'm not going to put a very large amount because I do have a fair bit of color. This also has a tiny bit of shimmer in it, so we're going to be very careful about how much we use with anything with a lot of shimmer. I'm going to use a very large brush. Kabuki brushes also work quite well for this, but I'm just going to grab this one. This is a MAC. I don't know what it is. I'll put it down below. They get really tortured, right? These are my brushes I use on set. So anyway, I'm just going to dab this, and I'm going to dab it on my hand because I don't want to get any clumps. So, you know, grab some color, dab it a bit on your hand, and then I'm just going to just lightly cover my skin. I don't need a whole lot. If you have very pale skin, you know, be careful how much you use. You don't want to look orange. You want to look like you just threw up or something. It's not good. And because we use, in Australia, they use sunblock on their face, they are always going to have a lighter face than their body. And many of you have this as well. So this is one of the ways to sort of combat that, is to use a bronzing powder or a cream bronzer as well. So great ways. So I think that's lovely. Like, look at that. I just matted my skin out. And I'm just going to add a little more, and I'm just comparing it with my neck. I still feel like my face is a little lighter. I'm not the best at using sunblock. Sometimes I just frickin' forget. You like that? Do you just forget? And you're like, oh God, I just added 10 years to my face. So I think this looks really pretty. It's soft. It's just a little bit of a glow in a powder form. Just think that's just lovely. I am going to use a little bit of concealer now because I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of gone down, but I have allergies in the springtime here in Boulder, and my eyes, I didn't film or publish anything last week because my eyes were completely swollen. You can still kind of see a little bit right here, and it got really red, you know, all through here, and I was puffy. Not fun, not a good look. And here's a great question for you, and I would love for you to answer this as I continue. However, I would like to know, I was going to do a video with my eyes looking like that, but then I thought, you know, I can't really demo very much. It's very distracting because my eyes were so swollen. And then part of me felt like maybe that would be really helpful for you to see, is what to do when your eyes are like that, as opposed to just locking yourself indoors, right? If you feel embarrassed. I didn't, I'm out and about, I don't really care. But in any case, for doing a video, I was a bit worried about that. Like, how would that come across? So I would love some feedback from all of you on that particular issue. It is an issue. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of concealer, and I'm going to use my amazing concealer. Really love this. Whoops, got to turn my phone off. And this is medium golden. And I'm just going to dab a little bit of this on. And if you find, and we'll see here what color this is here with my little bronzer I just put on. If your foundation looks a lot lighter than your skin, once you use a bronzer, then you do have to darken it up a little bit. So we'll see here. This is the color. Oh, it might be okay. I'm just gonna dab. I think that's okay. It's a tiny bit lighter, but not too bad. Just gonna dab that in, especially right in here. Now I use my concealer all over my lids because I have a lot of discoloration. If you have oily lids, just use an eye primer. I'm gonna be careful through here because this is where I have that my little allergy line here. So we're gonna see what this looks like. Actually, I haven't worn much makeup this past week. I'm gonna dab it in here. I've got some darkness through here. I think I'm just gonna keep it off of that. Whenever you have swollen skin, and I get swelling when I eat gluten, when I drink too much, and when, not that I drink too much very often, that's very rare, but, and then allergies. And this right here, this little puffy bit is, for me, it's allergies. So don't put anything lighter on that. You can even darken it up a bit, but I'm not going to do that today because this is out in the sun in summer and we don't want to do too terribly much. So I'm just going to lighten that through here, a little bit around here, just keeping it away. You can still see it, but it's okay. I'm going to lighten my nose. My nose gets, as many of you, gets the brunt of the sun, especially when I'm out on my bike. And I'm not going to worry about this age spot right here. I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to tap this one a little bit. It's up to you what you want to do with that. See, I think that looks too light right there, so I'm going to have to add a little bit of color on top of that just to darken that up because that's kind of popping too much. So because I already matted my skin down, I don't need to use powder. Now, unless I wanted to use a little bit around my eyes because I just put concealer and I didn't put the mattifier around my eyes. You probably could. I think it's habitual for me not to put products too close to people's eyes. So I'm just going to take a little bit of powder, and I'm just going to powder that part a tiny bit. The powder I'm using is Kojen Dough. Looks like this. Absolutely beautiful. I love the tiny bit of pinky tone to it, and then the white I sometimes use as highlighter, but this powder is super sheer. It's just beautiful. All right, so now I'm going to do a little bit more contour. I feel like, this is looking great. It's that lovely summer sun in Australia. So I'm going to use a little Bobbi Brown, and this is medium bronzer. So this is just going to add a little tiny bit of contour, not a lot. Most of you have pretty thin faces, and pretty thin faces. We can do either one with that sentence. So we're just going to put a tiny bit, not a lot, a little bit under here because we all are a little bit whiter under our throat. This also helps if you feel like you got a little saggy right here, like we all do. It's just life, right? Just gonna put that there. Just takes that down a notch. And if you want to, you can use a little on your forehead. So if you want to fill in your eyebrows for the summer when you're outside, it's totally up to you. I do think if you're going out and you're going to be in the sun and you want to look pretty, most of us need to do a little bit of filling in. I'm just going to fill it in a little bit on the outer edge. I'm not going to use anything else in brows. I like brows very simple. I know there's a huge, if you look on Instagram, there's this huge eyebrow thing happening. It's been happening for a while, and I'm just not as into it for older women. I really like things to be very as natural as possible. So this is just a little Jane Iredale brunette. Yep, just to fill in that edge. All right, so now we're going to shift over to eyes. So I'm going to use this palette that is absolutely gorgeous by Chantecaille. Again, I'm a fan of Chantecaille. But this summer palette, now I just want to make clear, they're not, the last time I went to their website, they didn't have this. So what I think you can do then is just go on and buy either individual ones, or I think some come in pairs, but I don't think they're doing the whole palette. So just go on and check it out, or maybe they've put it back on once I upload this video. In any case, I think these are just beautiful summer shades. I want to do a whole video on that teal right there. I'm in love with that teal. But we're going to really focus on this color purple because it's purples, right? And then this peachy tone, which I think will be really, really beautiful in the crease. Okay, so for starters, I'm going to do the purple. I love purple so much. And I'm going to do this all over my lid. I love all colors, I think. I'm just Just love color. I'm just going to pat this in with the flathead brush. So really flat, really solid, right? So that it can deposit quite a bit. And these colors are very sheer. So you want to keep it, you want to deposit on your lid as much as possible. We're not going for a sheer application, even though it's a sheer product. But isn't that pretty? Doggone it, that's gorgeous. Now, some of you who have, if you have a lot of crepiness to your lid, it is important to stay away from shimmer like this because it will kind of set in crepes and things like that. You can use a little bit, maybe like a dot right in the center of your lid or something, but I think to use this much can be really challenging. If you do have crepey lids, watch my video on crepey lids. I'll put it in the corner. It's one of my top most viewed videos, which means I really think this is an issue for a lot of you. And really the key component there is to really use a great serum on your lids. Okay. All right. So let's do the other eye. Okay. So that to me is really pretty. I'm going to go into my 217, my MAC brush here with the peachy tone, very light peach. And I'm just going to put that in the crease. I think this will be really soft and pretty. I'm going to use a little bit of a shimmer, this color right here, right in the corner of my eye, right in here. Again, I'm just using this one brush. You could use a smaller one for this, but I'm not going to. That's kind of pretty, right? Just to highlight that a little bit. You can take that same color, put it up in here. Now, I know this is supposed to be simple, but I really am just so like attracted to this color because it's got that little mauve-y tone to it. It's so pretty. So I want to use a little bit of this in that outer edge. You know, why not, right? It's so pretty. Just to deepen it a little bit for those of you who have small lids and want a little bit more pop. Take that same darker color I used on the outer edge and just pull it a little bit underneath. Pretty. So really soft and pretty. I think this is great. I'm going to put a little bit of an eyeliner in the waterline. So this is called Purple Dash or Purple Bash. Purple Bash Dash. Anyway, by MAC, and it's waterproof. So we're just going to tuck this a little bit in here just to add to the purple. It's a lovely purple. See that? It's kind of a grapey purpley color. And I'm just putting it underneath. You can also use this or any color really on the upper line, just really tight close to the lashes and blend it a little bit just so it's soft because you don't want any lines. As you get older, you want to use less liney looks, right? More blended sort of everything. So that's pretty. And that really, I have green eyes. So anytime I put purple or pink near my eyes, my green pops out for those of you green-eyed people. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of mascara. So before that, I'm going to do some eyelash curler here. This is Shu Uemura eyelash curler. Really love this. And a bit of mascara. I'm going to do Maybelline Great Lash. $5. Telling you. Whenever you can go inexpensive in this industry, you do it because everything is so costly, right? You really want to spend your money on skincare and certain cosmetic products like foundations and that really are super important. You want to go as sheer on the foundation as possible, and that takes really, really good formulations. If you want to do your lashes underneath with mascara, go ahead. I don't because on me, it runs down my face. Obviously, you can use waterproof, especially if you're out in the sun. I definitely recommend that. Even waterproof runs on me, I'll be honest. I'm a runner. I don't know why. It's kind of quirky. All right, so now I'm going to do a tiny bit of blush. So I've got a couple blushes here. I'm not sure which one I want to use. So I've got both are MAC. This is more pinky. This is more natural. And they're gels. Not gel, they're kind of creams. So I think I might go for this one. I don't want to do too much pink, otherwise it's like pink threw up all over you. So I'm going to use my ring finger and put this on. I'm just going to dab it right on my cheekbone, take it a little bit up. All right, last but not least, we're going to do a little bit of lip liner and lip gloss. So I'm going to use Lip Bar. This is a woman friend of mine sells this in Denver. And this is just a very natural lip liner. So all I'm going to do is just kind of use it so that it isn't just like the gloss that's going to like run, right? Because it can have a tendency to run in fine lines. I have done a few videos on that too. I keep referring you to other videos, but it's an important subject. I'll put that in the corner, what to do about that. This might be a little too dark. I'm thinking I wish it was a little lighter as I put it on. Anyway, maybe the lip gloss will cover it. So this is Boy Bait by MAC. Little lip gloss here. Give it a little shake. Okay, so I've just finished this makeup. I think it's really, really soft and pretty. I think you could go like anywhere in this, right? So of course I have my little bit of a wave in my hair. I got my color done, you know, ready for the summer. So anyway, I hope you like this. I think it's fun, right? And pretty and very, you know, especially if you're going to wear pink or something with a rosy tone, a cool tone. This is just so pretty. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please write down below. I always love to hear from you. And I always respond. And thank you so much for watching The Beauty Shaman, and have an awesome summer.